This is a year that your rescue is going to manifest. You're going to see the deliverance of the Father manifest in this year and in the next decade as we go beyond 2020. But Hatzalah in Hebrew is spelled Hey Lamed Zadi Hey. Now the Hey means to behold. It also means his living breath. It also means grace. Zadi means righteousness. Lamed means to teach. And then we're back to Hey. So what does 2020 mean? It can mean this thing. It's a year that by his grace, we understand that we've been made righteous, and we are taught from heaven how to come back to and engage with his living breath. That's one of the things 2020 means. You understand that? That by his grace, we've been made righteous. And the Father's going to emphasize righteousness in this decade, that we've been made righteous by his grace, not by our works. And that we're taught from heaven how to reconnect with the living breath of the Father. It also can mean this, that as we behold him, we understand that we've been made righteous, and we're taught from heaven how to function in grace, right? And it can also mean that it's a year to engage his living breath because we've been taught the truth about righteousness, and that we've been made right with him by grace. So 2020 it means a lot. But you also understand that this word has Hey on both ends. And like I said, we're back to the blueprint, because there's an emphasis on beholding. John understood beholding. If you remember in 1 John 3:1, he made this statement, "Behold the love of the Father. What manner of love the Father has bestowed on us, that we have been called and made the sons of the Father." So there is something about beholding him. In 1 Corinthians 3:18, it tells us that as we behold him, we behold the glory of the Father, we are changed into his image. So there is a dynamic in the realm of his kingdom that as we behold him, it changes us and transforms us into the very image that we are beholding. And that's emphasized in 2020. The Hey is mentioned twice. So there's an emphasis on beholding, there's an emphasis on grace, and there's going to be an emphasis on engaging with his living breath, on being able to breathe in his living breath and breathe out his living breath into creation, into the atmosphere, into the realms that we operate in. And so that to me is extremely exciting, because it's be able to engage with all of that stuff. Now the other interesting thing about Hebrew is that Hebrew has numerical values with the letters. And this word has a numerical value of 130. 130 is these two letters. Kaf is 100, Lamed is 30. So Kaf means holiness. Lamed, like I said, means to teach. So in this year of 2020, what's the Father want to do? He wants us to teach what holiness is. Now, holiness to me is one of those words that has kind of gotten a negative connotation to it. What do I mean by that? For years and years and years, there's the verse that says, "Be holy, for I am holy." And for a long time when I heard that verse, it almost sounded like that I was being scolded through that verse. Be holy, for I am holy. It's like, you're not measuring up. Come on. Come up. You're not doing it right. Be holy, for I'm holy. It's almost like it's a condemning, that kind of thing. And holiness is not about that at all. Holiness is an invitation. And then the Father showed me in that verse, the Father was saying, because the other thing the word holiness means, it means to be set apart. And so the Father put it to me this way. He said, I'm asking you to be set apart to me because I am wholly set apart to you. Now that's totally different. Because the Father is inviting us into a relationship with Him. He has totally set Himself apart to us. He gave His Son for us. And then He's asking us for us to set ourselves apart to Him. So therefore, He's not asking me to do something that He hasn't already done. He's already done this for us. And then we are just reflecting back what He's already done. But the other thing about holiness is the picture for holiness is the sun setting on a horizon. And a sun setting on a horizon, that is what is seen above is seen below. There's a perfect reflection of what's up here, down here. So holiness has to do with for us being taught how to perfectly reflect heaven on earth. And the Father wants us in 2020, 21, 22, all the way up to 29, to 30 and beyond, that He is going to teach us. He's going to teach us in this year and beyond how to reflect perfectly heaven on earth. That's exciting. How many of you know the world could use more heaven on earth? Right? The Father wants us to be vessels through which He is perfectly reflecting heaven on earth. And so 2020 reveals to us that we're going to be taught how to do that. Now, what I want to get into next is what I call the gem of 2020. This is to me the gem. Because 130 is also 13 times 10. 13 is the numerical value of the word ahava. Ahava is the word for love. 10 isn't interesting because it's the letter Yod, but it's also 10 times 1, so it also means the strength, the full strength. So in 2020 and beyond, we are going to enter into a place where the full strength of His love for us is going to be revealed. We are going to encounter His love like we have never encountered it before. We are going to be able to say, as John said, I have both known and believed the love that He has for us. We're going to be able to say, like Paul, that it doesn't matter what's happened to me. It doesn't matter if there's peril or sword. It doesn't matter if there's angels or demons. It doesn't even matter if there's life or death. Nothing can separate me from the love of my Father. See, the Father has a love. And so a lot of times when we say, oh, God loves you, it's like a little candle. And it's like, oh, that's nice. Father loves me. But that is the wrong picture. The Father is a raging bonfire. It's a raging, glorious, magnificent bonfire. In one of my encounters with the Father, I was engaging with Him and I was taken up to Him. And as I approached the Father, it's like He began to embrace me. And I remember my head went up to Him and was going to go up and just like lay on His chest, right above His heart. And when I was encountering this in a vision, I remember when my head got real close to doing that, my mind was actually giving me fits because it didn't know, it's like, can I really do this? And it's like my heart was saying, yes, you can. And so I remember when my heart finally rested on the Father's chest. There was such a feeling of contentment and peace and safety and joy and rest. Oh, it was so wonderful. But as I did that, I began to hear the Father's heartbeat. And I remember that when His heart would beat, boom, 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 boom. And every time His heartbeat would do that, I saw coming out of Him oceans of His love. And those oceans of love would instantly go throughout all of creation and go throughout all eternity, just overwhelmingly covering everything that is under His realm and in His kingdom. And then I would see that those oceans of His love fall down like the Niagara Falls, powerful, powerful falls of his love pouring down upon people. They were powerful, but they were gentle at the same time. And so I'm telling you right now, there is that kind of love of the Father right now that is pouring down on you. It's pouring down on you right now. It's there all the time. And the Father in 2020 is going to give us perfect vision about the full strength of his love that he has for us. It is not just a little candle flame. It is a huge raging fire. It is like a bonfire as big as a mountain, bigger than a mountain. And he has such love for us. He is so passionate for us. And it's revealed in his name. As I said, his name is Jehovah, spelled Yod, He, Vav, He. Now, what's interesting about his name is if you take He, Vav, He, that is the word for passion. The Yod, as I said, can mean full strength. So when we talk about Jehovah, we are talking about the full strength of his passion that he has for you. He is extremely passionate for you. And in this year of 2020 and in this decade, he wants to reveal that full strength of his passion, the full strength of his love, of his ahava for you. Because he is so in love with every person, every man, every woman, every child. It does not matter what part of the world you were born in, what color you are, what race you are. His love is unending for you. And he is going to bring us into perfect vision of the full strength of his love for us. And then the last thing I'd like to share about 2020 is this. If you add up these numbers, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 0, that equals 4. What's interesting is from that word hatzah, if we have 130, that was the value of 130, 1 plus 3 plus 0 is also 4. 4 is the letter dalet. And the dalet means the door. Now what does a door do? When you walk through a door, you enter into another room. You walk into another arena. You walk into another realm. You walk into another dimension. You walk into another opportunity. 2020 and beyond, this cornerstone year is all about the Father is giving us an invitation to walk into a new door, a new opportunity, a new realm, a new dimension, a new area that we have never ever entered into his kingdom before. You have to understand his kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and it is an ever increasing kingdom. It is in a kingdom there will be no end to. It will always increase. It will always grow. And in this year, the Father has given us an opportunity to enter into that door. He's giving us an invitation. And as if we take this invitation by faith, we say, yes, I will come into that door. I will come in through that door. I will walk through the door of 2020 and allow the perfect vision of your love and your goodness and your mercy and kindness to come into me. Teach me about righteousness. Teach me about holiness. Then I believe that indeed it will be a happy new